Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm back for another NBA video. We're looking at the Friday slate. As usual, we have a nice, awesome slate for Friday. So let's get right into it. You can drop a like down below and subscribe if you have not already. Starting off here at point guard, Harden is at 12-6. He put up 80 fantasy points in his last meeting against the Cavs. Scored 55 real-life points. Price tag went down a little bit. He's playing huge minutes for the team. If you can pay up for him, I can't fault you now. This matchup against Orlando, they do have some decent defenders. They have Jonathan Isaac. They have Aaron Gordon, so probably Isaac might be on him. But can't argue with Harden at 12-6. The way he's been playing. LeBron is down to 10,000. I kind of like his price tag, point per dollar wise, a little bit more than Harden. He is going back to Miami. So if you're into narratives, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of injury news today. We have a lot of questionable players. We have a pretty big slate. As usual, we'll have a lot of injuries coming out this afternoon. And maybe Giannis, if he's out, then you can fire up the Bucks again. They're not expensive at all. Bledsoe and Middleton are still very affordable, and they have another amazing matchup against the Grizzlies. So we'll just have to wait and see the status of Giannis. I'll post some notes in the comments when we get that word, if he's out. The point guard I like quite a bit is Trey Young at 9,100. Love how his price tag went down. Anytime a player, a superstar like Trey Young's caliber, his price tag drops over $1,000 overnight, then I'll be interested in him the next day. He's at home against Indiana team that he put up 60 fantasy points earlier this year. He can just take over a game at any given moment. When he was 10K plus, I wasn't that interested because even if he gets you 60, he's not like... He still cannot miss value by even if he gets you 60 when he was like 10-5. But now at this price tag, if he gets you 60, he's going to be in a lot of the winning lineups, playing big minutes for the Hawks right now in competitive games. I'm glad that he is no longer playing 30 minutes like he was earlier this year. So Trey Young, 9,100, really good play, point per dollar wise. Really liking his price tag. Over at shooting guard, D'Angelo Russell, 7,700. I like him. No Draymond Green tonight. No Eric Pascal. So it should be the D'Angelo Russell show here in Utah. It's a tougher matchup in Utah. But if you just look at his rates with those guys off the court this year, it's just insane. He's probably going to have a 40+% usage rate tonight if he is, if he's able to play his full allotment of minutes and this game doesn't get out of hand. So at this price tag, his price tag went down. Just going to have to play a lot of the facilitating role. My money's on him to lead the team in scoring. And if he's getting hot, then he can put up 50, 60 fantasy points at a sub 8,000 price tag, like D'Angelo Russell, quite a bit. At small forward, I am looking at maybe Ben Simmons. Embiid played 36 minutes last night against the Celtics. Now the Sixers are on a back-to-back, playing a pretty bad Pelicans team, so I could see the Sixers rest Embiid tonight, and if that's the case, then Simmons and Tobias Harris both are appealing. Brandon Ingram's price tag is nice at 7,600 if you want to go to him. Middleton, obviously, if Giannis is out, will be a tremendous play. And then I'm looking at some of the Magic players. I think Jonathan Isaac is nice at 6,100. Fultz is doubtful again. So he did play 36 minutes, and he was needed to defend LeBron and AD, and it's another spot where Isaac should have to defend one of the Rockets' explosive players. He's a really good defender, and if he's on Harden or Westbrook, we know they both do like to turn the ball over quite a bit, so I could see Isaac have a big game in terms of steals, so I'm liking him at small forward right now. Just like the price tag, 6,100. His upside is 40+, 50+, and Vucevic is doubtful, so he should continue to get a lot more rebounding opportunities and scoring opportunities. Over at power forward, I'll probably put Isaac at power forward here, and then I think you can go to at small forward. I am looking at maybe Joe Ingles, 5,800. Ingles hasn't really gotten any ownership on Draftkings. I've recommended him basically the last 3 days in a row, and he's put up north of 30 every time. It's another great matchup here, coming off of a couple of really solid matchups. So I think Ingles will be able to continue his strong play. He finally had a good game just in terms of real life scoring. Put up 23 real life points. The assist went down that game, but it's a spot here against this terrible Golden State defense that they just should be able to. The Jazz should be able to put up a ton of points here for an offense that is up and down on the year. I'm liking the Jazz quite a bit tonight, especially Joe Ingles at a nice price tag once again. As center, I think there's one guy that's really cheap for no reason. Well, there is a reason, but Valanciunas, this is the day, man. If he bombs tonight, I'll be disappointed. But $6,500 for a guy that point per minute wise is through the roof this year. And if you take out Ja Morant and Brandon Clark and all those guys that are already out for tonight, then Valanciunas' rates are over 1.5 per minute production. The only thing that can take away from it is foul trouble, and if this game just blows out. But I'm still thinking that they don't really have anybody else to get minutes here at center. If he's healthy, he can play 30-plus minutes here. They haven't really done that lately, but he played 32 against Jazz, 34 against the Clippers, and they're missing Clark, a backup center. And if Giannis plays, and I could see Jaren Jackson just get into foul trouble. So I like Valanciunas a lot at 6,500. Just going to be really hard for me to get away from that price tag on Valanciunas. And then at guard here, you can look at one of the Grizzlies players. They are cheap as well, with Tyus Jones is 3,700. I assume he's going to start over Melton. Melton has been playing well, but Jones has always been starting whenever Ja Morant's been out. And then if Melton plays better, then he can start the second half or something. That's what they did once. But I still would go to Jones because if he's starting, he's going to get his 23 to 30 minutes around that range. And he's not been very good this year, but he's still going to get the opportunity, and the minutes are there. So he's priced at a spot where he should be getting 15, 16 minutes, but it's a spot here where he's going to get 20 plus. So I like Tyus Jones. And then some more value plays I want to mention on the Warriors here without Draymond and without Pascal. I like Alec Burks at 5,300. He's probably going to start next to D'Lo. So I'm liking Burks. I think Robinson's a decent option, but Cauley-Stein and Marquise Chris, a couple of my favorite values, especially Chris at just 3,800. He's going to have to play a lot of minutes tonight. Not a lot, but probably in the 20s here compared to the 13 to 15 range. Probably 24 to 25-ish minutes for Chris you could expect. And maybe Damian Lee goes back into the rotation tonight. Yeah, he played 15 last time out when he came back. So it's not like they don't have any bodies, because they have Damian Lee, they have Bowman's gone, but they have Lee, and they have Jacob Evans, who's been playing some minutes. So they aren't thin on bodies. But I think Chris is going to have to play a lot, and then maybe Spellman. But I'll go to Chris here, who's cheaper. I mean, not cheaper, but he's just the better play. And then over on Fanduel, similar story here. I'm liking Trey Young a lot on Fanduel at 9,600. No longer that 10K plus price tag on him. He's at home here. He's been solid as of late. The assist numbers are always there, 13, 9, 9, 10. The scoring should be there tonight. And I just feel like I just have a good feeling about Trey Young tonight. And I do like him on Draftkings. I kind of do like him on Fanduel as well. Just kind of how it goes. And there's not a bunch of other point guard options at the top. I mean, Simmons would be in play if Embiid's out, but if he's not out, then 8,800 for a game that could get out of hand. And then Brogdon's decent option at 7,800, but it doesn't have the upside as Trey Young does because they have a bunch of other scorers on the team. So loving Trey Young at point guard. At shooting guard, it's D'Angelo Russell for me at 8,300. I'm liking, my favorites at the top are Russell and Devontae Graham again at 7,900. His price tag is still under 8K on FanDuel. Don't know what else he has to do to get his price tag up there, but he would be another strong play for me. And then obviously Middleton if Giannis is out. And Lou Williams, if he draws the start and plays at Beverly, he's only 6K on FanDuel, 7K on DraftKings. Definitely like him on FanDuel more. And Josh Richardson here. I think he should be able to play tonight. He was on a limit last night, but he still got 30 fantasy points, got 4 blocks and steals. So I like Josh Richardson as well at 4,500 for value. Small forward here. If Giannis plays at 12,000, I would probably try to get to him, at least on Fanduel. We have a lot of value here with like the Grizzlies value. We have, Josh Richardson's cheap. I think you can make an easy argument to pay up for Giannis tonight or even LeBron at 10-6. But as of now, I'm liking probably go back to Ingles all year on Fanduel. He's always been a little bit more higher owned on Fanduel. He's at 5,500, still at a nice price point for a guy that is going to play 34, 36 minutes. Has a nice assist rate without Conley out there, and he's starting to hit his shot. So all he needed was to see the ball go in the hoop a couple times, and he's starting to hit like 50% of his three-pointers the last couple games. At power forward here, Marquise Chris is a flat minimum on Fanduel. That'll be tough to not get to. Just 3,500, should play 25-ish minutes tonight, and when he plays his minutes, he can put up 30 fantasy points. He is a good per-minute guy, just because he can get his blocks and steals. So he's a guy that I would have a lot of interest in. And then in the mid-range, I'm liking like Julius Randle is down to 6,600 against the Kings. I like him a ton. And I like Aaron Gordon as well, 6,700. So those are two more options in that range. And then over at center here, I think you can get up to Cat if you want, because there's going to be the value. Rudy Gobert, 8,700 is another strong play for me. I'm expecting him to get probably a lot of ownership tonight. Price tag is up there though, but this is a matchup where he can just crush. He had 7 blocks against this team earlier this year, or just a couple weeks ago. 53 Fanduel points. I think Valanciunas makes for a really strong pivot. Nobody will be on him for tournaments, or even like if you just feel good about him, then just rock with Valanciunas. Should see the minutes here. When they're missing some bodies, they have been giving him some extra minutes. Only concern is foul trouble with him and just not getting the minutes for whatever reason. But at home, I think Valanciunas makes for a great tournament pivot to Gobert, who should be a lot more popular. But I think both are probably my favorite options here. I will probably just stick with Gobert just because he's safer. And that's kind of it for today. I will keep you posted on Twitter with any updates. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and good luck tonight.